Insinger, Saskatchewan, located on Highway 16, northwest of Yorkton, Saskatchewan. The first video that I put up of Insinger was in 2008. In 2012, I accidentally deleted all my videos, so I had to start over. A lot of footage that I had was older footage. Some of it was when I first started learning how to take video with a camcorder. When I put the second video up in 2012, I never dreamed that I would get such a response from people. I guess it provoked a lot of memories of people who grew up in Insinger or their parents grew up in Insinger. And it really pleased me to see that people commented and probably kept in touch with each other too. This second video that I'm putting up is more a comparison and also to touch base with everyone. I stopped in Insinger at least once a year because we're heading to Prince Albert. We always drove right by there, so we would stop. Over the years, I could see how everything was falling to ruin. I haven't been back there for a couple of years now, but my niece did take pictures for me this summer, so I'm also uploading those. Plus, I'm answering some of the comments that were made on the video of 2012. I'm going to read some of the comments that I got from people that either lived there or knew people who lived there or their parents lived there. More information was provided by Ishpa, a relative to some of the residents that lived in Insinger. His grandfather, William Schwager, owned and operated a barber shop and pool hall that was located across the street from the post office. It was sometime in the mid to late 1920s. His mother and father attended the school reunion in 1998. His mother said that the blacks operated one of the grocery stores and that Kalibaba operated a dray and express business. His mother and also Mr. Harrismuth taught school there. This information was obtained from her on March 17, 2013. Another comment from Ladybugs. Thanks for posting this. My mother and her sibs grew up in this town. I remember her talking about the town over the years, and she went to the reunion. My mom was from a Ukrainian farming family. All 13 kids were raised on a farm with a super tiny house. They grew up and were self-sustaining. When my mom was 18, she left the farm with her sisters to travel the world. They got only as far as British Columbia, where they all stayed. Thanks for the memories. A comment from Bill C. This is very touching. My grandfather and grandmother, Chernowitz, spent time there in the 1920s, trying to break new land. There is a school there with that same unusual name. Is there a connection here? Yes, there is. It is the same school. A comment from Munster. I recently got back from my trip to Saskatchewan. Insinger was on my list of places to visit due to your video. Truly a lovely church that I would love to have seen restored. Thank you for posting such a wonderful video. Seems like quite a few small towns are fading away. My dad's side of the family lived for a time in Success, and now the population is extremely small. My aunt on my mother's side lives in another tiny village not too far from Insinger, and its inhabitants are also dwindling. No businesses on the one main road anymore. Only an empty building that once housed a store. Makes me very sad. A comment from Kim Becker. This was so incredible to see Insinger. My mother was born and raised here. I have many wonderful memories of visiting my grandparents every summer while growing up. See my grandparents' house in the video, my grandfather's pool hall and barber shop, and the watershed where we would carry water back to the house in buckets. Thank you for the memories and taking the time to do this video. Corey Nelson, he says, I live in Insinger now. We are restoring one of the salvageable houses. As well, we got another neighbor in the pink house across from the post office. He is a contracting renovator. I stopped in Insinger a year later and saw the house that Corey was talking about. It had a for sale sign on it, but then I later found out that it was changed into the post office. I don't know. How did they do that? Well, they're doing a lot more digging here. Even though we didn't live in Insinger, we were still quite upset to see how they were digging everything up. I'm sure there was reasons why they were doing this. We had no clue on what was going on, but it still affected us. I would go to Prince Albert once or twice a year. Every time I went, we would stop in Insinger. So I feel pretty connected to the place. But the one thing I will say, I never seen a town that was always so windy. It seemed every time I went, there was quite of a wind. A lot of times, I didn't even get out of the car. I just videotaped right from the window, the long grass. And of course, it was wood tick season. So I would stay in the car and just videotape whatever we seen. So sometimes the video might be a little bit shaky, but that couldn't be helped without a tripod. I just held on to the camcorder, as you can see. I also grew up in a small town, so I can understand the memories it brought back to the people who watched this video. There is one comment from Allendale 18. He says he is a collector of postmarked mail and has a 1909 Insinger postmark on a postcard to Eldora Moore in Ontario from her Aunt Fanny. If anyone hears the name, they might know who she is. So it would be great if somebody hears the name Eldora Moore from her Aunt Fanny, who lived in Insinger. It would be great to hear from any of her relatives. My niece took pictures this summer, and so I'm posting them also. It almost looks like the school is no longer there, but the cement wall with the plaque is still there, probably fallen down completely or caved in. I've got so much footage, and I did promise that I would put another video up of Insinger. So hope you enjoy it. I think it's a little better than the first one I put up. Yeah. So take care and happy memories.